everything discussed so far in the right perspective, we should understand the flow of execution of a for loop, which is our next topic for discussion. By this time, we have fully understood the nature and the impact of entities that may appear between the common brackets following the for loop. Now we will try to understand the flow of execution of a for loop. We will discuss this through an example. Consider this code sample. In the initializer section, we declare an initialize variable that may be used during the execution of the loop. In this example, we have declared and initialized two variables named I and j. I has been initialized with the value of 2, whereas j has been initialized as 5. It should also be recollected that expression or statement in the initializer section is evaluated only once throughout the execution of the for loop. Hence, declaration and initialization of I and j will be done only once, otherwise this would have created a compile time error. Before the loop starts executing the statements between the curly brackets, which is the main body of the loop, the expression found in the control section is evaluated, and based upon the evaluated value, the execution proceeds or terminates. With I equal to 2 and j equal to 5, the statement in the control section will evaluate to true because I plus j is less than or equal to 20, and hence the loop will move on with the execution. It is also be noted that the expression in the update section is not evaluated now. Rather, it will be evaluated after each run of the loop. The main body of the loop in the present example is a simple printf statement. The statement simply prints the addition of I and j. This statement will be executed and the output will be 7 because I is 2 and j is 5 in this run. Once all the statements of the main body have been executed, which is only one in our case, the control will move to the top of the loop. The expression in the initializer section will not be touched again, but immediately after executing the main body of the for loop, the expression in the update section will be evaluated. In our case, the statement in the update section increases the value of I by 2 and the value of j by 5. After the execution of these statements, I will become equal to 4 and j will become equal to 10. The control expression will be evaluated again and the updated values of I and j. With I equal to 4 and j equal to 10, the control expression will again evaluate it to true because I plus j is less than or equal to 20, and the loop will move on with its second iteration. The main body of the for loop will be executed again, which simply prints the sum of I and j. You will see 14 getting printed on the screen. After the execution of the loop body, the statement in the update section will be run. The two statements in the update section will increase the value of I from 4 to 6 and j from 10 to 15. After the execution of the update section, the control expression will be evaluated again with the updated values of I and j. With I equal to 6 and j equal to 15, the control expression will be evaluated to false because I plus j is not less than or equal to 20. And this will terminate the loop and the control will jump to the statement immediately following the for loop block. The statement immediately following the for loop is a print statement, and you will see out of for loop getting printed on terminal. The steps involved in the execution of a for loop can be summarized like this. The expression found in the initializer section are evaluated only one time and before the first run of the main body of the for loop. The expression in the control section is evaluated before the start of the each cycle of the loop. Outcome of this evaluation decide whether to continue with the loop or to terminate it. If the evaluated value is any non-zero value, the loop goes on, otherwise it is terminated immediately. The expression in the update section is evaluated after the end of each cycle of the for loop. By this time, we have discussed how a for loop functions and most importantly the nature and behavior of expressions that appear in between the parentheses appearing just after the for keyword. These expressions control the flow and every other aspect of the for loop. A true understanding of the behavior of a for loop must include a thorough understanding of the nature and behavior of these expressions. Apart from the for looping construct, the C language also provides two more looping constructs, which are while and do while. Bearing a few minor variations, all the three looping constructs are used to execute a given set of statements multiple number of times. In the next video, we will talk about the other two looping structures, which are while and do while. But before we close this lesson, how about a quick test of your understanding? What is the expected output of this program? The output of this code is 1. Let us see how. The initializer section is empty, which is acceptable. Before the first run of the loop, the control expression will be evaluated, which will turn out to be true because value of I is 2, which is less than 4. During the first run of the loop, the value of I will be incremented of 5, making it 7. After the first run of the loop, the update section will be run, which will increase the value of j from 0 to 1. Before moving to the second run of the loop, the control expression will be evaluated, which will turn out to be false because I is 7 and this is not less than or equal to 4, and the loop terminates. The control moves to the statement immediately after the loop body, which will print 1.